Time travel. It's the holy grail of science fiction. From Back to the Future to Tenet, it's a concept that fires the imagination like few others. The idea of stepping into another era, correcting a mistake, meeting your ancestors, or witnessing the birth of the universe. It's the ultimate fantasy. But what if it's more than fantasy? What if time travel has not only been achieved, but already happened in secret? Over the decades, a handful of stories have emerged, wrapped in conspiracy, strange coincidences, and blurry evidence. These aren't tales from novels. They're real-world urban legends, recounted by alleged witnesses, rogue scientists, internet strangers, and sometimes even presidential candidates. Most are unverifiable. Some are clearly hoaxes, but all of them tap into a deep collective fascination. What if we're not alone in our timeline? In this countdown, we're diving into 5 of the most enduring time travel conspiracies and modern myths, from secret government experiments and Vatican devices to mysterious internet users who claim to be visiting from the future. We're not saying any of it's real, but we are saying it's a lot of fun. Let's explore the stories that refuse to die, even if their timelines never quite line up. The Navy ship that vanished, or so they say. It's one of the strangest legends to come out of World War II, a top-secret U.S. Navy experiment that allegedly made an entire warship disappear from sight and from time. According to the myth, on October 28, 1943, the USS Eldridge, docked in Philadelphia, was subjected to an experiment meant to render it invisible to enemy radar. But the results, some say, were beyond what anyone expected. The ship didn't just vanish, it teleported. The story goes that the Eldridge blinked out of existence in Philadelphia, only to reappear moments later in Norfolk, Virginia, over 300 kilometers away, before returning to its original position. But it wasn't a clean jump. Witnesses claim that some sailors suffered horrifying side effects. Some rematerialized, fused into the metal of the ship, their limbs or torsos half melded with bulkheads. Others went insane, rambling about time loops and walls they couldn't pass through. Some reportedly vanished entirely, never to return. The origin of this tale: a mysterious series of letters written in the 1950s by Carl Allen, aka Carlos Allende, sent to UFO writer Morris Jessup. Allen described the incident as part of a government experiment in electromagnetic invisibility, but offered no hard proof. Over time, the story snowballed, thanks to fringe books, movies like The Philadelphia Experiment, 1984, and the rise of UFO culture. And while the U.S. Navy has flatly denied any such experiment ever took place, insisting the Eldridge was in a different port at the time, conspiracy theorists aren't convinced. The legend only grew stranger when Al Bielek, in the 1980s, claimed he was a sailor on the Eldridge who jumped overboard during the event and landed in Montauk, New York, in the year 1983. That's right. This story merges directly with the Montauk Project, another time travel conspiracy, forming a tangled web of sci-fi meets secrecy. Most researchers today consider the Philadelphia experiment a hoax born of hearsay and speculative fiction. But it remains a cornerstone of time travel mythology and a chilling what if about government science gone wrong. What if the church could see the past like rewinding a video? In the 1960s, a Benedictine monk named Father Pellegrino Ernetti made a stunning claim. Not only did he believe time travel was possible, he said he had helped build a machine that could witness history unfold. It was called the Chronovisor. According to Ernetti, the device used a mix of cathode rays, electromagnetic wave detectors, and exotic alloys to capture residual energy imprints from past events. In simpler terms, it could tune in to history. He said it worked like a TV set, allowing the viewer to see and hear moments from the distant past, as if broadcast from time itself. Among the events Ernetti claimed to witness, the crucifixion of Jesus, for which he said they even photographed Christ on the cross. A lost tragedy by the Roman playwright Quintus Ennius, never before seen in modern times. Speeches by Cicero, and scenes of ancient Rome in full splendor. He even claimed 12 scientists helped him build the device, including the famous physicist Enrico Fermi, though none ever confirmed this. The only proof ever offered was a grainy black-and-white photo of Jesus, published in an Italian magazine in 1972, but skeptics quickly debunked it. The image appeared to be identical to a 19th century postcard of a wooden church sculpture. After that, the Chronovisor faded into rumor and ridicule. Yet conspiracy circles insist the Vatican confiscated the device, hiding it in its ultra-secret archives. Some even believe it still exists today, kept from the public for fear of what revealing the true past might do to faith and power structures. Even Father Ernetti, on his deathbed in 1994, gave conflicting messages, at one point retracting the story and later allegedly reasserting its truth. Whether hoax or half-truth, the Chronovisor has become a fixture of Vatican conspiracy lore. And let's admit it, the idea is seductive. A device that lets you witness the past would rewrite both history books and theology. Whether fact or fiction, the Chronovisor remains a potent symbol of forbidden knowledge, and the unsettling idea that someone, somewhere, may already be watching history play out like a movie reel. What if your childhood memories include watching Lincoln live and visiting Mars with Barack Obama? That's what Andrew Basiago, an American lawyer and former child prodigy, has claimed since the early 2000s. According to him, between 1968 and 1972, he was a participant in a secret U.S. government program called Project Pegasus under the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. The project's alleged goal? To develop practical time travel and teleportation using a mysterious form of energy known as radiant energy, supposedly discovered in the papers of none other than Nikola Tesla. According to Basiago, the government had already succeeded in building teleportation platforms that could send people across the Earth and through time. He says he was chosen as one of a select group of child test subjects because children adapt more easily to the disorientation of time travel. During these missions, Basiago claims to have witnessed the Gettysburg Address live, even producing a blurry photograph of a boy at the event who he claims is himself. Traveled to Mars via jump room technology, sometimes alongside a young Barack Obama, going by the name Barry Soetoro. Observed past and future events, including disasters and governmental meetings. Met with future presidents allegedly as part of a program to identify and groom future leaders. It sounds like science fiction, and to many it clearly is. Basiago's claims lack any corroborating evidence, and no whistleblowers or leaked documents have surfaced to support them. Yet, what's fascinating is how sincerely he presents his story. He's spoken at conferences, appeared on Coast to Coast AM, and even ran for U.S. president in 2016 with a platform centered around government disclosure of time travel technologies. Critics argue the entire narrative is a blend of fringe science fiction tropes and political satire. Even in conspiracy theory circles, Basiago's tales are considered outlandish. But there's no denying his story is extraordinarily detailed, filled with names, dates, and descriptions that make it feel internally coherent, even if unproven. In the end, whether Basiago is a fabricator, a believer, or something stranger, Project Pegasus stands out as one of the most elaborate time travel conspiracies of the modern era. Part child experiment, part cosmic adventure, and wholly bizarre. What if a time traveler posted online, and no one could tell if it was fiction, delusion, or prophecy? In late 2000, an anonymous user appeared on online forums using the name John Titor. His claim? He was a soldier from the year 2036, sent back in time on a military mission to retrieve a specific 1975 IBM 5100 computer. A machine he said was crucial to debugging old computer systems in his future, where a Unix time bug threatened to cripple infrastructure. His posts were strikingly detailed. Titor shared technical specifications for his time machine, which he said was installed in a 1987 Chevy Suburban. He posted diagrams, discussed the physics of time travel based on Tipler sinusoids and microsingularities, and even provided images of the control console. He described his military background, explained parallel timeline theory, and answered questions from intrigued users with unnerving confidence. But it wasn't just science fiction flair. Titor made predictions. A U.S. civil war would erupt in 2004 over civil liberties. The country would fracture into 5 regions. A global nuclear war would occur in 2015, wiping out large populations. The Olympics would be cancelled by 2008. CERN would play a key role in time travel discovery. Needless to say, none of those events happened, at least not in our timeline. This failure to predict reality led many to declare the story an elaborate hoax. Over time, some researchers suggested it may have been a coordinated roleplay or viral art project, possibly by a group of science fiction enthusiasts or performance artists. Yet, what makes John Titor so enduring is the consistency of the lore and how early it appeared in the internet's life. Long before social media and ARGs, this was a fully formed myth told in real time. Part interactive narrative, part techno-prophecy. Some fans even theorized that by traveling back, Titor splintered the timeline, which would explain why none of his predictions came true. Convenient, but not provable. To this day, the Titor saga lives on in books, YouTube breakdowns, and Reddit threads. For many, it remains the gold standard of modern conspiracy fiction, or perhaps a haunting what if. Could time travelers be photobombing our past? Of all time travel legends, few capture the imagination like photographic proof, and none more famously than the time-traveling Hipster, a figure spotted in a 1941 photograph from the reopening of the South Fork Bridge in British Columbia. In a crowd of men in fedoras and women in period coats, one man stands out. He appears to be wearing modern sunglasses, a graphic t-shirt, and holding what looks like a portable camera. The photo went viral in the early 2010s, sparking a tidal wave of theories. Was he a tourist? Out of time? Skeptics quickly offered explanations. Sunglasses of that wraparound shape did exist in the 1940s. The printed shirt was likely a stitched sports team emblem. The camera was a Kodak folding camera, also available in that era. Despite the debunks, the image remains a meme and icon of time travel lore. Because while explained, it feels wrong, that uncanny sense of something out of place which fuels the fun. Other photo evidence entries include a 1995 Mike Tyson fight where a spectator appears to be filming with a modern smartphone, likely just a camcorder with a wide lens. A Swiss watch found in a 400-year-old Chinese tomb, later determined to be a novelty ring, planted. a TikTok trend where anonymous users claim to be from the year 2582, giving vague predictions like something big will happen on August 3rd, 2023. Predictions that quietly pass without incident. These entries are rarely credible, but they endure because they're accessible. Anyone can see the image and decide for themselves. Unlike complex documents or military secrets, a strange photo feels personal, as if you might spot a glitch in the timeline too. It's modern myth-making in real time, a way of exploring the what-if through the lens of nostalgia and the thrill of anomaly. Time travel conspiracies are not sustained by evidence. They're sustained by imagination, doubt, and the universal human longing to escape the present. Each story we've explored, from the USS Eldridge disappearing into thin air, to a monk building a Vatican time TV, to internet users claiming to debug the future, functions less as history and more as modern folklore. These tales echo ancient myths, gods bending time, or prophets seeing the future. In our digital age, those myths have simply taken on new clothing, lab coats, Cold War bases, and leaked, classified manuals. They flourish because they satisfy two emotional needs: the desire to believe there's more than meets the eye, that we're part of a universe with secrets, and the comfort of story, a narrative where wild claims, blurry photos, and mysterious forums become evidence of something bigger than ourselves. Of course, no credible scientific proof exists for any of these stories. Many are easily debunked, full of contradictions, or emerge decades after the events they supposedly recount. But the question isn't just whether time travel is real, it's why do we want it to be? Because if it is, maybe we could undo regrets. Visit lost loved ones, witness history, or rewrite it. That emotional charge is what keeps the idea alive in film, fiction, and conspiracy forums alike. So we end with a wink and a challenge to the viewer. Which of these stories intrigued you the most? And if you could time travel, where would you go? Invite them to comment their theories, pick a favorite tale, or share one they've heard. Because whether it's hoax, hope, or hidden truth, time travel will always live on in the stories we tell.